But to set you up for today's trading session for our own markets, our research team is here with how the trade setup looks like, stocks that are likely to be in the news, and of course, we'll get you updates from the F&O side of things as well. Firstly, Vamakshi is here to tell us what we need to watch out for going into today's trading session. Vamakshi, good morning.
Well, good morning, Hormaz. Let's first recap what actually happened in the markets yesterday. The markets, closed in the green. They ended at a 2-week high. Now, Nifty gained almost 95 points, and a similar gain was mirrored by the Sensex. Now, IT stocks actually led the chart this time around, with Infosys up almost 5%, Wipro, Tech Mahindra, with some other stocks that did extremely well in the trading session yesterday. Pharma and FMCG, which were, underperforming last week, have managed to post modest gains, in yesterday's trading session. However, no support still coming in from the Nifty Bank. Now, the advanced decline ratio was marginally in favor of the declines. It was almost 1:1, and the broader markets, they continued to underperform. Now, the handover that came in from the US markets is actually quite positive. All three indices ended in the green and notched new closing highs. The GIFT Nifty is also mirroring that. A 50-point uptick is what we're expecting. But, today's trading session will be important to watch out how the market reacts to comments that came in from President Trump. Now, in a post on Truth Social, he said that India and US continue to trade, continue their trade negotiations. He looks forward to speaking with PM Narendra Modi and sees no difficulty in coming to a successful conclusion. But at the same time, he is urging the EU to impose 100% tariffs on India and US. So, again, we'll have to wait for what exactly pans out. Now, as far as economic cues are concerned, take a look at the US PPI number today. This inflation number is extremely important. US crude oil inventories will also be something we'll be watching out for. Keystone Realtors will also be in focus. They will be considering fundraising through debentures. And the primary market, which has been buzzing off late, we see 3 new IPOs hitting the market. Urban Company being one of them, 1900 crores is the total issue size. Shringar House of Mangalsutra as well as Dave Accelerator are some of the other IPOs opening today.
Some interesting IPOs, of course, hitting the markets, but the implied open still suggesting a 50-point uptick. Over to Upasna now, who will list out the stocks that you need to keep an eye out for. Upasna, good morning.
Morning. First up, let me start with Bajaj Auto. The company has indicated that it will pass on the full GST benefit to the customers with effect from September 22nd. Hence, it has announced a price cut of nearly up to 22,000 on 20,000 on two-wheelers and up to 24,000 on three-wheeler range. Next up is Eicher Motors. Royal Enfield has also announced GST benefits to the customers with a reduction of up to 22,000 on the entire 350cc range. Next up is Sun Pharma. The US FDA has classified Sun Pharma's Halol facility as an OAI, that is official action indicated. Halol facilities under the import alert and shipments to US is refused. Next up is Thermax. It invests up to 115 crore in the renewable energy arm in First Energy Private Limited. Next up is Samvardhana Motherson. The company completes the acquisition of remaining 25% stake in the 2 Turkish subsidiaries. Now, Vikram Solar is the next one on our radar as the company has reported its Q1 FY26 numbers. It's overall been a strong set of numbers with a revenue uptick of 80% on a one-web basis, and margins have also expanded from 17.7 to 21.4%. Company also guides for a strong FY26 growth with a 4x capacity expansion. Next up is Sterling and Wilson. It has received LOA for an EPC package of 300 megawatt AC in Rajasthan worth nearly 415 crore. Now, according to sources on Kotak Mahindra Bank, Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corp is likely to sell up to 1.6% stake in the company via block deal. Hence, this stock will also remain on our radar today. And lastly, according to sources on Blue Jet, OFS is launched to raise up to 400 crores and promoter Akshay Arora is likely to sell. And coming to Apex Food and Avanti Feeds, India's seafood export to get major boost from EU and approves 102 new Indian fishery establishments for exports to EU. Hence, these 2 stocks will also be on our focus today.
Upasna, thank you for that update. Lastly, Mangalam joins in with cues from the F&O space. Mangalam, good morning. Heading towards that elusive 25,000 mark on the Nifty, but what's the F&O data indicating today?
Yep, we are heading towards that 25,000 mark. That is exactly what the GIFT Nifty is indicating. It will be very interesting to see, how two sectors pan out, the IT space and the Nifty Bank. Why do I say that? Because it was the Nifty IT that, powered the index ahead. The Nifty actually saw a fairly decent expiry. We had about, 95 points in terms of gains that came by. The only fly in the ointment was the mid-cap end of things. We had, advanced declines more in favor of decliners than the advances. There were both inflows from DIIs and FIIs in the cash market, but that was on account of a couple of large trades. What was interesting is after a lot of selling, we saw the FIIs buy in index futures by a smidge. 280 crores is what they bought. They added about 1,800 long contracts. But remember, over the last 3 trading sessions, they've been increasing their long exposure marginally. From 7.4%, it's increased to 8%, and now 8.7%. FII shorts still near record highs, so any sense of sustained move above 25,000 would lead to a massive short covering rally is what the expectation is. Yesterday, the Nifty closed above the 100-day moving average. Today, it opens above the 50-day moving average. The level we'll watch out for the Nifty Bank will be the 20-day moving average, which is about 500 points from where it is right now. Call writers are, expecting some sort of resistance come by immediately at the 25,000 mark. If that isn't the case to be, then we'll have around 25,100, which would see some supply. But if the market holds above these levels, there is a lot of fuel for short covering. At the lower level, supports have moved higher. Closer to 24,800 is where the support is. Trent is the only stock which I'm keeping an eye out on today because yesterday saw unusual selling and a lot of short positions being added there.
Mangalam, thank you for that update.